Be Wealthy and Smart, episode 1022.
Step into a world of wealth and financial freedom without budgets, boredom, or bosses on Be Wealthy and Smart. And now, here's your host, Linda P. Jones.
Welcome to Be Wealthy and Smart. I'm Linda P. Jones, America's Wealth Mentor, empowering women and men worldwide to financial freedom. On today's show, we're going to talk about why almost everyone feels financial stress today. This is not limited to people with financial issues that have had problems during the pandemic. This is not limited to lower income people. This is affecting a lot of people, no matter what your income, no matter what your socioeconomic status, it is reaching across all boundaries. So we're going to talk about why you're feeling extra stressed today financially and what you can do about it. This comes to us from an article on CNBC, and it was written by Carmen Reinecke. And it's talking about a survey that CNBC did with Acorns Invest, which I really like because when you do surveys, you're actually getting the pulse of the people and you're finding what's really going on out there. We're not just speculating or reporting on something we think to be true. We're actually asking people, how are you feeling about this and what's really happening? And sometimes the answers are a lot different than we think they are. And because I always want to try to give you financial confidence and help you feel peace of mind about your finances so that you're not worrying, I thought this was something important that we cover today. So not only do you know what other people are feeling and going through that you might be relating to, but also it gives you some strategies of what you can do to help yourself through this. So first of all, after an online survey of nearly 4,000 people conducted in March, it said 1/4 of Americans are feeling financially stressed all the time. Another 41% said they feel financially stressed sometimes, and 33% said they felt rarely or never financially stressed in the last year. So what is causing all this stress? Well, interestingly, the main cause of financial stress has been rising prices as Americans grapple with the highest inflation in 40 years. Which is really interesting because just yesterday we received news that the CPI in March rose by 8.5% from a year ago, the fastest annual gain since December of 1981, and 1/10 of a percentage point above the estimate. Now, we know that the real numbers are about double that, and I've covered that on the podcast before, how they're calculated differently now than they used to be. But if they were calculated the way they really should be and the way they used to be in the 1970s, it would be about double these numbers. And that seems about right with what we're experiencing in terms of price increases in the store, with food, energy, and shelter costs that are going up dramatically. So the misnomer about all this stress is that it's just impacting low-income people or people who are on a tight budget, but that's not really the case. While some are feeling tight budgets, it really has to do with those rising prices and uncertainty about future asset values and prices of things that you're going to want to purchase. Now, while the good side of that is that in real estate, we are in a bubble and it feels good in the sense that your home price is rising. You might be checking it on Zillow and seeing what it's worth and be very pleased that it's gone up 20 or 25 or 50% in the last few years. While other people who are looking to purchase homes are feeling the stress of that and are feeling horrified about trying to purchase something that is rapidly becoming more expensive and out of their grasp. But even though you may own a home and the value is going up, that can also be stressful because you may have fear of loss and wonder, when is this going to reverse and am I going to lose these gains that my house has had over the last few years since they've been so fast and so large? It's really not sustainable, and we all realize that. Another cause of stress can be supply shortages. Imagine that you're trying to remodel your house and you don't know if you can get cabinets or countertops or faucets or toilets or things that you need, and you're not even sure if you're going to be able to get those things. Or it could be prices rising on big ticket items like, is college tuition going to be raised a lot? Is the car that you want to buy going up in price? Or other big ticket items that you're planning on buying and you're seeing the prices move away from you. So what can you do with all of this? This is mostly out of our control. So that is what leads to some stress, is the fact that we can't control it. But here's what you can do. You can focus on what you can control. And that might be taking action like ordering something in advance. For example, if you are remodeling, order everything in advance. Get it all into your garage before you start the remodel, so you know you have the cabinets, you have the countertops, you have the faucets and the toilet and everything that you need. You might also want to use contracts to lock in prices, whether that's working with a contractor or doing some other work. Use contracts to lock in a specific price. Now, something that would be more along the mindset part of this, which is always important, as you know, and that would be get things out of your head and calculate your net worth on paper. Sometimes we are worried about things and they're in our head, but we get them down on paper and it doesn't have the same impact, or we might even feel relief. So when you see that your net worth is actually better than you thought and you get that on paper, it might help to relieve some of that stress. Another thing you can do is set spending or investing priorities for the next 6 months. So decide, where are the big blocks of your money going to go? Do you have something you're planning on spending it on, like a big vacation? If so, you want to pay for that in cash or in advance if you can, and not use credit for it. And if you're planning on investing a lot, choose what it is that is going to get your investment dollars. Now, some of the things you want to put on your radar is stocking up on extra cash, food, and water, and making sure that you have supplies around the house. These are unusual times, and shortages can happen. You also want to think about investing in cryptocurrency and precious metals. Those are things that are outside of the banking system. So if we do have a freeze of banking assets or some problem with the banks, you have a source of funds that is outside of the banking system. And that's what I love about crypto, is you can keep it in a cold wallet and you can move it from place to place and be in control of your own money. Now, a lot of people have a steep learning curve still with cryptocurrencies. They don't know where to invest or how they fit into your traditional portfolio. What are the things to look out for? How can you protect yourself to the maximum security level possible? That's all covered in my most recent book, 3 Steps to Quantum Wealth, The Wealth Heiress's Guide to Financial Freedom by Investing in Cryptocurrencies. So check that out. It's going to give you a quick and thorough education on everything you need to know about crypto. That's all for today. Until next time, live the good life and be wealthy and smart.
Thank you for listening to Be Wealthy and Smart with Linda P. Jones. Share the wealth and tell your family and friends about the show. Check out our website, blog, and social media for more riches at www.bewealthyandsmart.com.